This is Aussie Mac Zone. We'll cover everything Apple, including Macs, iPhones, iPads, and more. All this from an Aussie perspective. Sit back, relax, and insert yourself into the zone. The Aussie Mac Zone.
Hello everybody. Welcome to show 187 of Aussie Mac Zone this week. And a reminder that we are brought to you by athwebhosting.com.au. 99.95% uptime, domain registration, free setup, auto setup, instant activation. We use cPanel, the industry standard, user-friendly, feature-rich control panel from $5.95 per month when paid annually. And that includes 24/7 ticket support system and friendly help when needed. So, Garth, my friend, how is lovely
Good
Queensland?
Evening. Lovely. You got it right first time. It's lovely.
Stop raining and stop...
Yeah, stop raining.
All
It
that sort of
keeps
stuff.
threatening to rain, but mostly the days have been beautiful.
Yes.
What about down south there?
Oh, yes, awesome lately. Yes, the Ducks have had their time and we're back to great days.
Fantastic.
So, our Aussie Apple Ramblings this week, we start with Apple's new Danish data centre will supply heat to nearby homes and fertilisers to farms. So I don't know what that's got to do with the crap that we deal with here, but 9 to 5 Mac reports Apple's commitment to environmental sustainability is well established, but the company is going one step further in its new Danish data centre. In addition to powering the data centre entirely from renewable energy, the company is capturing the waste heat generated and feeding it into a district heating system to warm local homes. Further, the data centre in the Jutland region will be partly powered by recycling waste products from farms. Apple is working with Aarhus University on a system that passes agricultural waste through a digester to generate methane, which is then used to help power the data centre. The digester reaction turns some of the waste into nutrient-rich fertiliser, which Apple returns to local farmers to use on their fields. That's a good start. That's keeping it turned over. That's good. And but also apparently 96% green power for all their data centers worldwide. And they also,
I think for all their operations, pretty much.
all their operations,
all their own
yeah.
operations, internal operations.
Yeah, and they're trying to make everything out of recycled products.
Yeah. So Lisa Jackson, who is their VP I'm not sure what her exact title is, but the head of sustainability and it's another sort of area as well. See, this is the benefit of show notes.
Looking after us.
Looking after us. No, it was sort of more the social outreach stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Apple, a few times lately, Apple have had executives appearing on John Gruber's The Talk Show.
Yeah.
So Lisa Jackson just went on there the other day as well with Earth Day on the weekend and went over a lot of the sustainability stuff that they're doing and made that announcement that not only, they're making an unusual announcement of saying they want to do something before they really know how to do it. And that's build all of their products from non-mined material. So no more mining for precious metals to create their MacBooks and so forth. They want to be able to make them all out of renewable materials. And as she said, we really don't know how we're going to do that yet, but that's the goal. And
they
I guess
also
one little thing that...
Sorry,
you go.
Yeah, they also talked about making the products last longer, which is unusual for a sales company, isn't it?
Yeah. Brought up that story about how, Steve Jobs, some people bought a Mac to him and started it up and, took its time to we'll all remember how long it took for a computer to start up in the old days. And he said, I want that 30 seconds quicker. And they said, well, it's already pretty good, why? He said, well, we're going to sell thousands and going to sell millions of these, 30 seconds over millions of people. There's a lifetime there.
Yeah.
So, and they sort of melded that story to the batteries. Now, if we can save a little bit of extra battery life, once you aggregate that over millions of iPhones and millions of products, all those few watts of power add up in terms of this is power we no longer needed to use. If we could just make our chips that little bit more efficient and so forth.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah,
when you add up the numbers, it does get pretty terrific, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And to actually think about product construction from that perspective, to add that as one of the considerations when you're making choices around how you design your products. Even if it's pretty low down, that I'm sure there's lots of other criteria that come higher, but hey, at least it's in there and at least it's got a voice. So it's not a bad listen.
Yes. Yeah. Nice podcast to listen to too, occasionally, that one.
Oh, it's very long. Oh, you think we go on sometimes? Far out. It's a good one to go to sleep to. No, I love John Gribble. Let's face it.
Yes.
It can be quite chatty. So if you've got many hours to kill, there you go.
Apple's augmented reality smart glasses could be in the works. But the way we found out about it was unusual. There was a leaked incident report that suggests that Apple could be working on some interesting new eyewear and that accidents happen. Gizmodo is reporting that 2 health and safety reports refer to staff having eye issues after having used a prototype. The wording is vague, so we don't even know if the 2 prototypes were related or what they were meant to do. So, most importantly, I hope the staff are okay. And I'm sure they're working on lots of things that we have no idea about, but I suppose these days of disclosures of things like health and safety.
Yeah, well, it was an accidental disclosure, this one, wasn't it? It's supposed to be internal.
And the report even talked about the item that he was wearing had been tampered with, so they're not sure whether that's what caused the issue. This on one of them. Whether someone was trying to pick stuff out of it or, like, I just couldn't believe it was still on campus. Or they just had a bit of a play with it while they were testing it. Yeah.
I told you, don't touch that bit. It's not ready yet.
What's this button here do?
Yeah, exactly. But, like you're saying, we really have no idea what the product could be. Is it some kind of VR headset? Could be just about anything, couldn't it? It could be some kind of test rig that they have for developing some iris scanning, authentication sensor or a heads-up display for their cars. But on a sort of related story, Apple have reportedly snapped up Tim Dashwood and his Final Cut Pro 3D plugins. So apparently he is a Canadian entrepreneur and cinematographer who has made a number of high quality plugins for Final Cut Pro around virtual reality and 3D imaging. So they have recently apparently acquired him, and with the acquisition, all his plugins that were paid are now free. So if you're into that sort of stuff, you'll probably know who he is, because I don't know who he is. And all his plugins are now free, a bit like, I guess, when Apple acquired Workflow a little while ago, and Workflow became free. So he's in-house, and he's definitely another big name in the VR world. So possibly we are looking at some kind of VR headset that is shooting laser into our eyes. It's a bit scary, but anyway.
Yes. So Apple are notifying the Worldwide Developers Conference 2017 scholarship applicants of award status. So they've started alerting the 2017 scholarship applicants of their award status ahead of the developer conference. WWDC scholarship winners receive free access to the conference which usually has a $15.99 US ticket cost. And this year, Apple's application process included a stronger emphasis on using Apple Swift Playgrounds app rather than supplying a finished app. Apple has also expanded the scholarship program to cover both the cost of entry for everyone and travel accommodations for some, as well as lodging for the first time, reports 9 to 5 Mac. So congratulations to all of the Australians that made it, and commiserations, and don't give up to all the ones that haven't made it after we had such a big we got a lot of press last year with our young lady from Melbourne.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Well,
don't give up. Never give up.
Well, yeah, I don't think either you or I are on our way, unfortunately, but anyway.
No. Now, as I posted in the Aussie Mac Zone Apple News channel last Thursday, Apple is no longer charging for GarageBand on Mac or iOS, the iWork apps on Mac or iOS, our iMovie on Mac or iOS. So it's all... Yeah, go on.
I was just going to say, since for the last few years, haven't you pretty much got those anyway if you had a device?
If you bought it...
So if you bought a new device in the last, 2-3 years, they were all included. So I guess it's been sort of easier for them just to go, you know what, it's free for everyone, rather than trying to manage who can and can't have it for free.
But it does make it a lot easier for people with big departments to manage. So if just getting all of the apps on 900 machines in one hit, and it not being only 850 can have them, and little things like that crop up when you're doing mobile device management. I'm sure it's it's much easier for those people.
That being said, Michael, really, how many corporate environments are using the iWork suite regularly, do you think? Like,
but lots
in
of schools
terms of percentage.
Lots of schools
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
It's just anything that makes it easier.
Don't get me wrong. It's a good thing, yeah. I'm just wondering what the penetration of iWork is in corporate environment.
But even
it would be fairly minimal.
Yeah, for anyone thinking about doing podcasts, you can get GarageBand now and put it on your iOS device, and it doesn't cost you whatever it was costing you, for example. So, now we have an incident this week where Apple acknowledges emails sent out to some were incorrect. In an email, Apple explains that the emails sent out earlier last week were sent in error and that there have been no changes to iCloud storage plans. Furthermore, the company confirms that all iCloud plans will continue to renew as normal. Now, this earlier email showed that the 50 gig and 200 gig plans no longer existed, and the 50 and 100 gig had been discontinued. Same thing. So I don't know what really happened there. I don't know whether it's that Turkish crime mob were just sending emails out and Apple haven't admitted to that, or I don't know. Very weird. Very weird. It went away quick, but
it's a strange story. Yeah. I don't. Like you said, I don't really get that one either. What's happened there? What's actually happened there?
So, I'm running out of stories now. Anything you'd like to bring up, my friend, or any discussions, or
no?
Keep going. Yeah, making a nice, easy one for.
No, not other than what we've. Yeah. Not other than what we've already gone over in there.
Yeah. All right. So we've got to remember to promote our Aussie Tech Radio at aussietechradio.com and our Aussie Tech Security podcast and our friends at our award-winning Aussie Tech Heads podcast. And don't forget we have an Apple News Aussie Mac Zone channel. So just remember, do it. Go into Apple News on your iDevice, do a search for Aussie Mac Zone, click the heart button, and that's how you favourite us, and then we'll always be there. And yeah, as I said, I posted that as soon as I found out on last Thursday about the GarageBand, etc. I posted it up straight away. I was actually waiting for someone to turn up for a software training night. while I was waiting for them to turn up, I posted it. It was great.
Easy.
It took me longer to find a picture that I could use.
That system then?
So, I'd just like to...
You've got a couple of how-tos here?
Yeah. Well, sort of. Some of them. I've got to please be aware here, because I had a new customer this week bring in a 27-inch iMac, which had issues, and they just bought it off Gumtree. So the iMac had a thing where it was going to a white screen, etc. But when I ran the proper Apple tests connected to the server, it didn't show up that it was having a video card problem. And I ran them hot, ran them cold, etc. But it did show that the hard drive was failing. So I replaced the hard drive, but then I got major issues with the video flickering and going all over the place when I was trying to install the OS. So again, I tried to do it either from my drive the way I normally do it, or off the internet using the Command R system, and it was still having those video issues. And the unit always passed the special video test that is in the Apple Suite, but another fine point was the hard drive in the unit was a recertified Seagate, and on it actually says it's for the suggested use is video capture, which is just slow, not lots of read and writes. So it's not even a hard drive that's recommended for use inside a computer.
Not recommended at all. Yeah, right.
And it was already failing the second time around. It had been recertified and was failing the second time around. And apparently recertified drives also, Seagate don't honour the warranty on. I don't quite know whether they can do that in Australia, but...
How does that work?
I think if you're buying, quote, a recertified drive, you're accepting it second-hand in the first place as their excuse.
Yeah, fair enough.
But the customer had no idea it had a video drive in it, not an ordinary hard drive. Little things like that. So
yeah.
And he did pay top dollar for that particular one. So yeah. Hopefully you can get that sorted out.
Someone made a little killing in there, didn't they?
Yes. Because at the moment it's, he paid $1,000 for this particular machine, and at the moment it's worth about $200 for parts. So
far out.
No good at all.
No. Jeez.
So what about installing keyboards in iOS? So
piece of cake.
Yeah, we do this by going to Settings, General, Keyboards, and add a new keyboard. And I bring this up because I've been using the MyScript stylus keyboard, and it's absolutely amazing at converting handwriting to text. When you select the keyboard, it brings up a line on the bottom of the screen where you write with your finger, and it converts it to text really, really quickly on my iPhone 6 Plus, and even quicker on my iPad Pro using my finger or using the pencil. Now, this conversion from handwriting to text may have improved because Apple apparently has increased the screen refresh rates in 10.3. I was reading a bit more about it today. So yeah, it was getting into it.
Well, I've tried a lot of the keyboards, but I've never really found one I love. The only one I do keep on there is one called Shortcuts Keyboard.
Yeah.
Which is basically lets you set up little text strings of, whatever, and brings them up in a list. So you just swap to the keyboard. You might have, things that you say regularly in emails or whatever, addresses and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you can go in and set up a shortcut for that as well, and like a text expander thing in iOS, how you can sort of go in there and say, here's a phrase. If I type these 3 letters, expand it to that phrase.
Yep.
And if we haven't covered that previously, we probably should do that as a how-to next
Yes,
week.
yeah.
How to do that, because that's kind of handy as well. But the thing with that is you've got to remember what those letters are that you had set to expand to the full phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with the shortcuts keyboard, you just swap over to the little globe button there, and you get your list of phrases, and just pick one out and paste it in.
Yeah.
Well, you just tap on it and it goes into your message. So yeah, it's a good little one, shortcuts keyboard.
Mm-hmm. I use that sort of system in Mac OS for the text replacement type thing. So for the first letter that I send the insurance company when I'm doing a claim for these services, I just type W1 and it puts in 4 lines of text for me, just saying, please accept our application for requesting authority. Please see attached photos and forms, and then I put the photos and the pictures of the photos and PDFs of the forms, etc., at the bottom of the email underneath my signature and send it off. Then the process is the insurance company, if they send me an authority letter, I then put that into the folder, the filing system folder, drag it back into mail and just type W4 and it sends an email to the customer saying, please supply the purchase order for this approved authority.
Yeah.
So just as simple as that. W1, W4. It gives me all...
Yeah. They're huge time savers, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
And,
the hardest
and
part
really
is
easy to
remembering,
set up.
if you have 100 of them, it's probably, unless you've been spending all day using them, the trick is remembering them. But they're just 2 that
exactly
I use 10 times a week at least,
And that's why I like the shortcuts keyboard
Yep.
on iOS, because you just see here's my list of shortcuts or things and send it off.
Copy and paste and
So,
away you go. Yeah.
Well, you don't even have to copy and paste.
No,
it's a keyboard, so you
Yeah.
just tap on it and it goes straight in. Yeah.
Yeah, really cool, isn't it? You're right. Now that's it. I don't have any more now. Do you have any more how-tos that you can think of?
No. I think we've got a nice quick show there.
It hasn't been heaps of news this week, so it's just been challenging. I think Apple they've done a bit of Earth Week stuff and a couple of new videos for Earth Week, but I think they're primarily focused right now probably on the Developers Conference.
Yep, we're on countdown for that now, I suppose.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. And now, lastly, just a big thank you to those in our Defence Forces, past and present, being Anzac Day tomorrow, and I'll be at my lovely little Riverston. It's no longer a country town, but it's just like a country town, the little station and the cenotaph at the station, and a march around the block of the shops. That's where I'll be at 5:30 in the morning. Looking forward to it. 5:30 in the
morning, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Garth. Thank you, Karen, my darling.
Michael. Thank you, Karen, and thanks, listeners.